Everything's already aligned without me having to touch anything. Let's push the button. This may be a little loud. I bumped it down a bit. I can hear you on. It's such a good feeling when you parry that shoulder. You can usually parry it on reaction. There is kind of a little caveat that, like, Yun has different versions of the shoulder. But the light one you can't really easily react to, but it's also the one that, like, has no range. I think good Yuns don't really ever do medium or heavy shoulder in neutral. I do play Yuns who do it, but I think it's just dangerous. It's just bad. It introduces way more threat than it does value. Because if that shoulder gets parried, you eat stuff even if you super cancel. Unless it's like a Yoho cancel or something. Which no one runs. Yoho's a really unfortunate kind of case. Because it's a decent super, but Gene is just, you know, like the second or third best super in the game. Or maybe the first. It's probably the best. It's either the best or like the next best after Mirror. Nice. Okay, you know, that's nice. Oh, Carthor is so good. How they approach. Ooh, a little bit of fierce action. I got a delayed low there. Oh, I think he caught Alex trying to red parry a shoulder or something like that. But the dash punch is a different timing. That's pretty dank. Hi. Zoe.exe. This matchup's really funny, the Yun versus Alex, because obviously Yun is better. But the damage output of Alex is so high on like errant hits. Low strong, staying short. An actual link. Third strike does not have that many normal to normal links. Both Yun and Yang have that one, but Yang needs meter to combo out of it, and Yun doesn't. Kind of a quiet, interesting difference between them. Like, Rekka is the best special move that either of these characters have. But, Yang just doesn't have anything to combo from, like, a light. Meterless. That was beautiful. I love that ender. The sweep. Oh, what a hater. Meaty parry. You know you're on something when you're starting to try stuff like that. You're like, yeah, I'm feeling it. Alright. Shinshoryu Ryu. Any of Ryu supers are fine in this matchup, I think. Shinshoryu does notably just win if you land it. Parries versus Yun are not so easy. Certain characters are easier to harder to parry. Yun is one of the harder ones. Kinda. It's a mixed bag. Hi. It is possible to get like an A-tier parry and a dive kick and super hit. He's dead. Surprised Yun still needed all that to kill him. Thought it'd be faster. That probably was an easier kill, but like it would have been, it would have left his B and B too much. Nice, confirm. Another normal to normal link. Ooh, the dash into heavy DP. That's one of the enders. Heavy DP and heavy Tatsu do the same damage for you. Nice parry. Ryu's overhead is really fast. It feels too fast to react to, at least for my 30 plus reaction time. Meaty SGGK, I guess it was, yeah. Nice. Ooh! Off of the anti-air normal, too. Close medium kick. Oh, he dropped it. That's actually weirdly hard to hit. Close medium kick into super. Ryu's Super 2 has 1 frame of startup, so it'll hit before air resets can happen. Quite a dank little sequence, actually. You don't see that very often. I'm a bit sad because I wanted to see more Shinshoryu. It's actually pretty rare to land a Shinshoryu and lose the round. Shinshoryu does so much damage that, like, you know, it's done all the heavy lifting for you if you can manage to hit it. Nice red. He didn't commit, though. He was afraid of, like, a dash punch cancel or something. Dead. Bump, bump. Oh, meter build. Optimal. He could have just killed him with a cool juggle, but he was like, let me whiff some back strongs. It was the right play. He probably could have done a few more. Wow, that worked. The deliberately whiffed palm. This is actually super scary for Yan all of a sudden. The parry into no commitment was so smart. Oh, he's dead. Dizzy. Heavy spinning hook electricity. Or that. Back medium kick EX hook. No, it's not even that strong, actually. The damage is not even that good. It can be considered a nuke super in sense of commitment and size, scale. But it does less damage than, like, one of his Tengu Stone combos. It's only barely his strongest way of spending meter in Super 2. Dudley struggles to punish stuff like that. If he has, like, Ducking Super, maybe he could do it, but if he doesn't have Ducking Super, he has fuck all. Oh, that could have been a super cancel. He chose not to, I think. I think he was just like, yeah. Keep the meter for next round. Nice. Oh, 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 it hurts. Some kind of chipper sequence? Yeah. Probably that was going to be super cancelled. I would have parried that. Not to brag. I would have parried the uppercut and the super too. I actually have no idea if I would have or not. It's not a super hard parry. I've hit it before. Ooh. Did he try to parry or what? Oh, oh, oh. That was probably... Was that an SGGK? Oh, the TC. Optimal there. Towards medium kick, heavy punch. Rarely seen Dudley TC. People who are kind of new to this game like to say that a lot of TCs are bad. Like, yeah, you got Ken's, it's nice. But Dudley has like 12 or something. You don't see most of them. Of course, there's ones that are really useful everywhere, and then ones that are just really situational. Dudley does this overhead TC all the fucking time. There's low TC here and there. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Good shit. Alright, can he kill off of this, though? I was not expecting that. Ooh, he got the unblockable, but then it didn't combo to the mirror. He still landed on the front. Huge L. Why did he do the double headbutt? Then you have like some kind of like EX headbutt into tackle into super cancel and then like dash headbutt. Kind of nonsense, the thing that every Urian does. I've never seen that like EX headbutt, regular headbutt, mirror before they land kind of thing. Whoa. Okay, winnable. Oh. Dudley waited. Light spinning hook's first hit missed. Ugh. What's Necro's throw range like? I feel like it's small in my head. Oh, no super cancel. He didn't have the bar. He narrowly missed out on it. That's like a little thing. He could have done the TC there, obviously. Oh, he's dead. Dudley gets good returns out of a low roundhouse, even if he has no meter, but he only gets good returns out of a low short if he has meter. Stuff like that. Different options become more or less threatening depending on the meter situation. The thing about low roundhouse is it is reactable, but the overhead is not towards roundhouse. It also does happen really fast. I think theoretically, if you like trained yourself to it, you could low parry, low roundhouse on reaction if you didn't have any kind of prior commitment. But not having prior commitment is a huge if. You're pressured to do something with Dudley's meaty against you, parry or take a throw or whatever else, and just having a lot to react to. I like that SF3 kind of popularized mental stack in the Street Fighter scene, because it's a concept that's mattered in all the Street Fighter games, but it wasn't. Street Fighter 6 is the one where it kind of rose the most into prominence. It's a big thing in Third Strike, though, obviously. The more possible outcomes there are, the harder it becomes to react to individual outcomes. Dudley's media mix is kind of good. Maybe the best in the game, I would say. There's a few contenders, characters who are close. Ooh. NTR roundhouse into ducking cancels. Keeps working. Is anyone else that good versus Necro? He's making it look good. Oh. It's been me many times. Ooh. He went for the red parry on the last hit. That's ambitious. It's good for Necro. Necro gets much better punishes if he parries the last hit. But very scary. I sometimes go for the last hit red parry on that. I get it probably not very often. I get it probably like 30% of the time when I go for it. My success rate is not very good. It's a relatively easy red parry as they go to. Ooh. A really bad ducking superheat. Was just hoping that Necro wouldn't do something like that. Oh, that was nice. Beautiful. Nice play by the Necro. Ooh, the shimmy into the parry, but he still didn't get a punish, actually. What could he have done there? Back strong something? Oh, that could have been supered. Oh, nice placement of these normals. It's still scary, though. Yeah, Dudley can just do whatever. That's the problem with Dudley. There's the still after KO super cancel. Baller. He was mashing that shit so hard. Two Dudleys. The TC, was that low short stand forward? That's Dudley's funniest TC. Whoa, the counter poke was House. What did it hit? Towards forward or something? Towards strong? I think it was towards strong. Oh my god, that hit was that a stand House? That hit a stand House? Dudley's so stupid. They weren't thinking when they invented this character. A trick I really love versus Dudley players that every character can do is you universal overhead as a poke. And if he hits you with the stand roundhouse and cancels the short EX machine gun upper, it hits you midair and you can parry the last two hits of EX machine gun upper and get a full punish. Oro has a little bit extra utility by the fact that he can very, very easily do a Kara Universal Overhead. Which has extra range. Wow! Stand forward got hit by this. Stand roundhouse. All these buttons are just getting owned. The pickup. I love that pickup. If you get the wrong hit of light machine gun blow, you can juggle a stand strong. And it cancels, so you can potentially cancel out the ducking or something like that. Oof! Can this kill? I don't think so. Maybe it can. You know, I had too little faith in Dudley. Dudley's damage is high as shit. Nice. Oh my god, Samurai House. Most of Necro's buttons have her boxes that extend out prior to the hitbox. It's very common in modern fighting games, but it was much harder to hit these extended hitboxes in older stuff. Wow, I was tangentially involved in a story. That's interesting. Anyway, Dudley's normals are good at, like, you know, counter-hitting stuff coming at him. And Necro's attacks are good at getting counter-hit. So it's actually kind of an issue in this matchup a little bit. Cool juggle. Necro's got full bar, so he could kill with anything. So he cherry taps with back short. Hi. Necro not committing, afraid. He doesn't want to press. You kind of react to the jump back with short swing blow, so if he does it in the corner, it's harder to react to. Nice! That was probably a punish. When you parry someone after they attack low to the ground, they have the normal landing recovery that happens when you, you know, when you press a button midair. It's like a few extra frames of landing recovery. Wow! But if you get parried early in your jump, you actually don't have the landing recovery on when you land. And that's because you reset to like a forward jump state after getting parried. After enough time passes. Which also means you can press again. Streaming third strike. Arguing with his wife. Impending divorce. He cheated on her. Oh my god. I beat someone up in third strike who was like having an argument with his wife? Ooh. What a sequence. What was parried? That wasn't duck and cross, was it? I don't think so. Maybe it was duck and cross. No, it was Samurai House. He just canceled into regular old cancel. Damn. When was this? Hilarious that that would have happened. I'm reminded of the guy who broke his keyboard while playing against me. Probably my crowning achievement as a fighting game player. To tell that story very quickly, it was a Urian player who played me in a long set, and he was very obviously tilted for like the whole set. Okay, I don't need to see it either. Anyway, eventually just like went completely neutral. We weren't playing like ranked or anything. We were just playing like a long, endless set. We were like 30 games deep. And I had a big old win streak. I was a lot better than him. And eventually he just went neutral and stopped moving. Play against this Urian? I have one character. It's very rare that I pull out like my Ryu or my Elena or something like that. It's almost always Oro. Anyway, he went neutral, and then he started typing at me that he broke his keyboard because he was so mad at me. Well, specifically, he typed at me that I had to pay for his keyboard. And I'm like, why? And he's like, I broke it. I don't know how old this guy was, but those are the words of someone who was probably like 12. This was a long time ago. I was playing on 2DF. I wasn't 12, but I was young. I was probably like, I don't know, 16. Weird to think about how long I've been playing Third Strike. I started playing fighting games in 2005. And I first played Third Strike in 2006. So it's just about 20 years playing Third Strike. I'm okay. Honestly, I've like stagnated a little bit, but like, you know, stagnated is the wrong word. I've plateaued. I was if my current skill level is 10, and I don't mean 10 like, you know, I'm a 10 out of 10 player or something, but I mean like, you know, if 10 is my full skill level, my fully realized presently skill level, I was probably like a 7 or an 8 within like 2 years of starting. Most of my, you know, I got almost as good as I am now almost immediately is what I'm trying to say. I'll tell you, I'm not a 10 out of 10 Third Strike player. The skill ceiling for this game is fucking bonkers. This is one of the most skillful fighting games you can go play. I would say against... I mean, I could beat, like, you know, 99% of players of this game. But when you compare me to the actual top players, I'm like a 5. And it, like, they only lose to, like, you know, 9s having a good day. Or, like, other 10s, you know? They would just beat me 100 games out of 100. Chip. Did he go for the red parry? Yes. Wake up short swing blow. It's quite a good option, actually. Jump short. I like that. You see that kind of stuff a lot in this game, actually. You see it in SF2 a lot as well. Sometimes people will, like, do jump... Ooh, nice red. That's a really good red to go for. Sometimes you'll see players go for really low hit stun and block stun air normals for, like, reset purposes. Hi. I do that a lot myself. Like, there's a whole meta around Aura landing, like, a high connect jump medium kick. And the thing is, Aura will land next to you and, like, recover at the same time you do. But in this game, you can make that your weapon. Sometimes I'll backdash medium kick. Sometimes I'll press. Sometimes I'll throw. You know. I'll go for parry. It's a complicated situation. A lot of ups and downs to different options based on health and resources. Health and other resources. The double upper. I love that combo. Oh, it's going to trade? Didn't even trade. I had too little faith in Necro. This is still winnable, but it's hard. Super Battle Golf? I don't know what that is. There's only one golf game in my heart, and that's Neo Turf Masters. I don't fuck with any of the others. Shinshoyu? Ah, Denshin. I don't think Dudley can probably wake up trading with Denshin with his supers, but I don't think he wins. I think ducking can go through a Denshin, but you can't do it like on wake up like that. It's not Fireball Invincible frame 1. It's not really a feasible option. Dudley's Dizzy Bar is tied for the longest in the game, by the way. So that is annoying for Denshin Ryu players. Oh, nice confirm. Oh, I could not tell you Rolling Thunder's interaction with fireballs in this game. Nice. Immersive Sobble, good shit. Jump jab, I like that. Jump lights, leave the opponent fairly close to you. In this game, air-to-airs inflict the distance the opponent is thrown after an air-to-air is based on the strength of the air normal. Jump lights are often used if you want to air reset someone into a super or something like that. They're also just the fastest, which technically makes them the highest success rate. But the reward is so unbelievably bad. And then there's air parry as well, so you don't even need to attack right away because you could just go for like an air parry or something like that. It's a complicated situation. One of the big things I had to adapt to when I first started playing like SF4 and later games is that in those games, you're kind of left near the opponent after an air-to-air no matter what. Which was very unusual for me. That was probably minus. I don't know, it hit. It's the thing. Nice dash through. Necro's got one of the easiest quick stance to dash through. Oh, is he dead? Dizzy? No, it's not enough. The double low parry, but he couldn't even do anything with it. Drill can be parried low. It's quite funny looking. The idea is that it gets closer to you, which changes where Necro is after parrying it. Necro gets like reverse momentum when you parry his drill. It's very strange. It makes it actually really hard to... Like, parrying it is not enough to punish it, is the thing. It's good game design, but it's weird. It makes... Drill would be really bad if not for that. Just punish. Looks good. Brutal fucking L. The Necro got an S rank, by the way. I got an S rank the other day. I was feeling good about it. It's always fun when you get one of those. I used to get them more often when I picked SA3 more. I used to pick SA3 in almost every matchup. Aurora doesn't get very high ranks for his SA2 rounds. The cost of unblockable loops don't give you super high ranks. Of course, Tengu Stone is pretty much tailor-made for high ranks. Nice. A very distant connect. He went for the low run house. That was a parry. Parry reset. Sneaky by the Ken. Low short, high parry. Different characters will press different things when pressured to try and break the pressure. Very nice. Dudley will probably press high. He probably won't press low. Oh, counter poke with stand hard punch. You see that with the other Shotos more than Ken. I don't know if their stand hard punches are different. They all do the same animation for hard punch for Ryuken and Akuma. But you actually see that as a counter poke fairly regularly with Ryu and Akuma, and not very often with Ken. Any combo off a backswing blow, you can cancel it to super. You can also situationally juggle into it against certain characters, such as Makoto and his like corner EX machine gun blow combos. It's quite damaging. It's like if it's available, it's one of the strongest options he has. I think it has an irregular addition to the juggle count though. Whoa. I don't think it adds 1 to the JP. I could be wrong. That's a really hard thing to keep in mind, and most characters don't really have to care about it at all. Juggle editions. The only characters who really care about it are like Urian and Aura. Okay. I mean, Dudley uses it for his corner stuff. Maybe like Necro and Elena as well. Whoa! Didn't get the special back throw. It's not a punish. Oh, that's beautiful. Dizzy and death. Nice. The sweep caught the short swing blow. It's always a funny situation. I've been on both sides of that plenty of times. Being the person who air parries a universal overhead, or having my universal overhead get air parried. Oh, this Dudley's so good. I'm feeling a little threatened even just watching him. I'm like, would I be able to fight this? Oh, I've never had that happen, I don't think. That's pretty funny. Again, short swing blow getting sniped by Lorenhouse. Uh-oh, this could turn around real fast. Does that fail ducking? What was it? I don't know what it was. Oh, Jump Strong's fucking shitty hitbox. Oh, he committed. I had that same thing happen to me just the other day, where Dudley did like 3 towards medium kicks in a row, and I blocked the first 2 and then parried the third one, and he super cancelled. And I'd already pressed. And I got owned. Owned by the super. Nice, big jump in. A lot of dizzy on that. Oh, okay. Can manage to trade with a DP there. That dizzy bar is looking scary. He overcommitted! Oh! It's a different number of parries, but it's bad if they don't parry. That's a funny thing that this game has. Ken overestimated the number of the amount of defense that the Dudley player would demonstrate. Or maybe it's a fuck up. Maybe he just wanted the DP. I imagine he wanted the down heavy punch DP. Oh, no double DP? Oh, nice! Super cancel would have killed. Or not super cancel, but super juggle. But I think he made the right play by saving it. Yeah, Dudley could have made that comeback. Nice. No link. Just cancel. Oh, he committed. No cancel there, or not cancel, link there. Far strong super link is pretty good. W show you Dudley? Oh shit, I didn't know that. You need like a Kara or something, or does it just not even work? I didn't know Dudley would be one where you wouldn't be able to do it. What the fuck? Dudley's usually pretty easy on the juggles. Nice. Parry into slipping jab. Into nothing. That was nice. That was a good whiff punish. Nice. That's why EXDP sucks. Generally speaking, I would say like 80% of the DPs that Ken players do in this game are like jab DPs. And it's kind of a similar situation to SF2. It's the hits. Not every hit knocks down on his higher strength supers. I mean his higher strength DPs. And so it's possible to get one hit only and fail to get the knockdown and be unsafe on hit. Of course, you see, you know, in certain super punish scenarios, you'll see like Staying Fierce medium DP super, or like if you get like a 4-hit Air EX Tatsu, medium DP will be like the optimum juggle. There's scenarios where you want the medium one or the heavy one or whatever. That was a weird jump. That was like a neutral super jump, wasn't it? No commitment. Ken didn't have super, so punishing it was not easy. He might have been able to sweep it, but he didn't. I don't know. I'm not a Ken player. Oh. Anti-air jab got parried, and then Ken tried to make him land into a low, but Dudley committed. That was cool. Low roundhouse into juggle into short swing blow. That was definitely unsafe. He got away with it, though. Still a game. Anyone can win. Oh, Ken committed. Wow, good shit. Wow, it ended. Let's keep going. I still got the fire burning in me. Same matchup. Yeah, that was tense. That's what we left. That's why Third Strike's goated. Oh, when the Ken whiffs the roundhouse, I've been in that scenario 100 times. And you jump in, you think you're gonna get the punish, and you barely miss the punish, and Ken just DPs. Got him. Stand strong startup. Dudley's towards roundhouse is such a crazy option as a meaty. It's funny that he can actually sneak it in fairly easily in neutral. The range is pretty poor, but everything else about it is great. Very nice. He even didn't press right away, so he was safe against the super cancel. That's a little thing in this game. Oftentimes super cancels need to be done immediately. So if you parry something and don't press immediately, you'll be safe against the super cancel. You can block on reaction, but you'll still be in time to punish the thing. A really obvious example of that is actually against Dudley's overhead. Well. The non-standard wake-up times is actually a really funny thing about Third Strike. I don't think about it all that often. It matters a lot for Oro's unblockable setups. But generally speaking, Oro wants characters to wake up quickly for his booger. So the problem characters are the ones that take forever to wake up, like Makoto. There was a character with an irregular wake-up time in SF4. I think it was Adon. Like, woke up at a different speed than other characters. Nice. I don't remember if they patched it or what. Sometimes Dudley players will do anti-air strong or something and then ducking. And it's a good idea to do on hit or parry. Or it's an okay idea to do on hit or parry. But if they get parried, they do ducking and then super from the other side. And it makes the super very obnoxious. Oh, there were more than one. I didn't remember that. That's something that no character I played had to know. But it mattered for characters like Ibuki or something. Dan has a lot of quirks to his hurtbox in 4. I believe they're deliberate, but it's hard to say. In particular, his crumple has a very fucking weird hurtbox. A lot of attacks would just, whiff versus crumpling Dan. I think they did it specifically to what the fuck, parry in neutral. I mean, taunt in neutral. I think they did it specifically to have like hype moments. Damn. That elf is doing the thinking emoji. Dan had other super weird, like, Herpox quirks, though. Yes, that girl will be back. I was thinking about doing a YouTube series where I just look at characters from the scope of their previous designs. And from a purely gameplay design standpoint, pretty much remember the Good Balance Elena I did not so long ago? Like that, but for the other returning characters. Viper, Alex, etc. Where I just kind of look at where their moves were repurposed and why. I think it would do hella numbers. It would be like one of my most popular series if I actually did it. But it also feels very derivative. It also would be a lot of work. I'm very particular about the kinds of things I make videos on, because I want to only talk about things where I feel very confident in what I'm saying. Generally speaking, I only give very cold takes for things that people have already agreed to long ago. Oh yeah, Sentinel is quite strong in Marvel 2. I wouldn't talk about that because I don't know that much about Marvel 2. Medium kick leaves you in a pretty funny scenario. Ken's medium kick. He like moves forward when he does it, so he kind of ends up like right next to you if it hits you. Oof. This could turn around. No, Jackie Chan. I know almost nothing about that game. The things I did know about it, it seemed Kuso, but the good kind of Kuso. A lot of people... Whoa, Thunder Kick. A lot of people think that Kuso is just bad. This is almost an insane comeback. That low roundhouse could have been whiff punished. Oh, that was nice placement too. The early air button into the sit far strong. That was quite smart, that whole little sequence. Yeah, Jackie Chan Fists of Fury or whatever it's called. Fists of Fire? I already forgot. It had a name like that. Jump jab because he didn't have that much time to press midair. Maybe. Milk toast, he says. Milk toast. I like that. One of my friends said Sieg a while ago. Like S-E-G-U-E. And I was like, it's pronounced Segway. And he was like, oh! Finding out the two different words are actually just the same word. I wouldn't mind Evil Ryu. He's not my first pick or even my 10th, but, you know, with the way that they did Kage, could be alright. I thought Kage was kind of cool. Kage had no aura. He kind of didn't, but I think that was the point. Kage's entire purpose is aura loss. Bro wants to be hard, but no one's intimidated by him. My favorite thing to do in SF4 was to do medium max kick on block, and then when the opponent pressed, I would just light DP anyway. Stand fierce, medium max kick, oops, it's blocked, here's my DP. They could just give him Demon in SF6, and no one would give a shit if they did the same thing they did to Akuma's Demon, which is make it slow and not invincible. A little bit I like the idea of Demon being one frame, and just kind of breaking the rules of the game. I understand why they didn't do that. It does some really fucked up stuff. Being able to punish -2 is kind of crazy in a game that's built around -2. SF6 is instead built around -3. Nice. You win. Now. Fighters ready. Engage. In both 4 and 5, Demon is unbelievably free to land. The only reason you don't see it more is because it's so expensive. And in SF5's case, you know, locked behind trigger. I think from a gameplay perspective, Balrog, Dudley, and Ed have nothing in common whatsoever. So I don't know if they would truly, like, care. I don't think that they consider the characters to have overlap. I think actually the intent with Dudley in this game, which is his debut, is to create a character who doesn't play like Balrog at all. Not being a charge character and, you know. Radically different gameplay design. These TCs and these juggles. One thing that's kind of funny about Dudley versus Balrog is Dudley's in a radically lower weight class. I think I mentioned that before. Balrog is like a full foot taller than Dudley. And like over 100 pounds heavier. What? Probably you. I don't think they would ever bring El Fuerte back. That's wrong. I think they would bring El Fuerte back. I don't think they would ever bring El Fuerte back as he was. Oh, me? What do you mean, how do I know this? You can just look up any of the characters' information anywhere. Every single character has listed height and weight, bro. I mean, I don't have it memorized, but like, you know. If a character is impressively sized, such as Zangief. It's memorable. Balrog is actually a huge guy. That leaves a relatively normal size. Oh, the regular Tatsu. You know, every now and then you see it. Yeah, he hit twice, that's not nothing. He probably would have killed if he used DX Tatsu. I hope they wouldn't feel pressured to create the same kind of character. I pictured Alforte's drive rush and I shuddered. Oh, this is very scary. Necro doesn't fight in these scenarios well. Wow, he had the super cancel and he didn't react. It was right there. Oh, there as well. He didn't commit. Okay. Oh, good shit. Ken thought it would whiff. The red! The red! The red! Oh my god, bro. That was beautiful. What a red. That red allowed him to get a really beefy punish. And that really beefy punish completely turned the game around. Necro is actually one of the characters most motivated to go for red parries because he gets really good returns off of that heavy hook. And that heavy hook is slow as shit. Ken can, yeah, Shippu this. I don't even think he needs the parry to Shippu it. The last hit doesn't knock down and doesn't do that much damage, so it's a fairly low risk red parry to go for. That's a really good one to go for. It's probably one of the single best red parries to learn is Q slaps. Necro gets red parried a lot because of that light spinning hook. But it's not... If the light spinning hook, like if they fuck up the red parry, it's quite good for Necro because he gets all that corner carry, even though he doesn't get that much damage. One little advantage of SA1 Necro is that he can do the light spinning hook into Super 1, but it's not even that strong. SA1 loses a ton of damage if it gets a mid-air hit compared to a ground hit for Necro. It's actually a pretty strong super if it hits on the ground. Probably the strongest one, right? I don't know. I don't know if Slam Dance is stronger. Probably is. That's funny, yeah. If I parried light hook, I would press right away, no doubt. I would not wait, even though you do have time. Oh. No commitment. The two hits of a... Ooh, caught dashing in. It's like anti-air jab into strong or something. Still hit Necro when he was midair. Anti-air down back fierce, it's decent. Oh, that was a punish. That should be good. Missed the first hit, that's big. Half the damage is in the first hit. With punish, I don't know if it was. It hit though. Oh, beautiful sequence. Ugh, mid-air hit of jump around Huss. No, 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 no. I've seen many rounds like this. Oh, the TC actually whiffed, and I think it would have killed him. Oh, this is still a comeback. This is still possible. Oh. Low short stand forward TC. Nice placement on these buttons. That's a thing Dudley has to fight with. That's really annoying for him, actually. If Dudley goes for a parry and his stair roundhouse is not in range, his parry returns are actually not good at all. Dudley, like, really appreciates stair roundhouse to do the heavy lifting for his combos and his punishes and all that. But sometimes you'll see, like, a Dudley, like, low parry, a Shoto sweep, and hit stair roundhouse, and it just whiffs. Dudley's a really good character, don't get me wrong. He has good options there. But you want to go for your best option all the time. Okay. He waited to see for a super cancel. It might land. Yeah. And Ken actually parried to his credit. That's... you know. Still winnable. Never mind. Nice. Double DP? No, just medium DP. Double DP was probably possible there. I don't know, actually. It would have been a low hit. So it probably would have been impossible. Medium kick? Dang. You usually don't need the full parry there. That was hard for Ken to chase. Nice. Oh my god, this Ken is just parrying everything. This is third strike in the modern era. That was probably a punish. Stand strong probably just punished that fireball. Ken's fireball's pretty minus if he landed point blank like that. Oof. Nice. The crouching hit. He blocked just a little bit and then committed. Didn't react. Oh, a double DP? Painful? Oh yeah, that's true. This was 4 years ago. Oh, that's difficult. That's difficult. It was very hard for Necro to get an optimal punish there because of the positioning. Maybe he could have done some back roundhouse something or other. Muting my mic to yawn, so you guys don't have to suffer through it. Yeah, that's one frame to parry post-freeze. It's very difficult. And you probably wouldn't do that parry pre-freeze. Yeah. Slipping jab and then Ken mashed super. That was odd. Quite an amusing little sequence there. What the heck was Ken trying for? That's the dead OS. A pretty funny one too. Ken players just find the most random fucking times to land that shit. So winnable. Oh shit, that's it. Dudley's mix is too good. Japan has a lot of cool formats. I really like the ranking battle ones, where players have like a between like -3 and +5, and when you like get enough, every time you win you go like +1, and every time you lose you go like -1, and they just play King of the Hill. And if someone gets enough wins, they rank up, and they go into like the next tier of like higher ranked players. That's a super cool little tournament system. Well, it's not even like a tournament per se. Oh, just clean beat the down back fierce. Down back fierce is the hitbox is a little sus. It looks like it would be bigger than it is. It's a good button though. One of Necro's best. What? Good shit. Like that meaty. There you go. Well placed anti-air down back fierce. Oh, 1 HP as they say. Oh, no super. When you get the high connect button, but you supers 2 frames, or rather it hits on its second frame. So you can just do an immediate super and it'll still be in time. Lots of characters have this phenomenon in this game. Or it doesn't, so I never really got to play around with that much. Or it doesn't have a super that just hits, despite having 6 supers. The closest thing he has to a super that just hits is fucking EX Super 1. Ugh. Universal overhead into EX Super 1? No, it's too slow. It also just doesn't combo except on back turn. Down Fierce into EX Super is a back turn, which is why that sequence works. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, Aura's got 2 of the 3 best supers in the game. Or 2 of the 5 best supers in the game. Would be more accurate. 2 of what I meant to say is 2 of Aura's 3 supers are among the 5 best supers in the game. I'm not complaining, but I don't have a regular super. When I originally saw that emote, I thought it was a girl with a robo hand. But actually she just has a wrench sticking out of her, off her back. She's putting one hand up and she's got a wrench like coming out of behind her. I prefer her as a girl with a wrench hand. Same. I just remembered Hutchinson from Rocco's Modern Life. What was her name? Dr. Hutchinson. I don't remember her first name. It escapes me. She has a pretty funny story that you probably know about if you know who she is. The higher-ups wanted them to add a character that was an inspiration for female viewers or something like that. Role model. Not inspiration. Well, maybe still inspiration, but role model. And they were like, add a professional lady, a girl with a hook. And the creators added a character with a hook for a hand. She's quite a good character. I don't remember Rocco's Modern Life. I didn't like it when I was a kid, but I think I probably would like it as an adult. There's a lot of stuff there that seems to be for adults. Nice. The beaver one. Angry Beavers. There was definitely a level of sterility to like Disney Channel cartoons versus Cartoon Network cartoons. Cartoon Network cartoons could have their moments. I don't know the rules with that sequence. What an awkward jump, but he made it work. I will stream 2 more times just for you. I remember Angry Beavers having a sex joke. I didn't get it as a kid. It was a episode where all these salmon were jumping upriver for spawning. And they had, at the end of the episode, it's like, what's spawning anyway? And then one of the characters like whispers into his ear. And then at the end of the episode, he like a fish jumps out of the water and like kisses him on the cheek. And he's like, ah, I've been spawned. Something like that. It's been a while. I did like Angry Beavers. I never really liked butt monkey characters. Angry Beavers had that. I like when there's a little bit of back and forth between the characters. It depends on the show. But with the Angry Beavers, it felt like there was always a winner and a loser. Always the same two, you know? The smart character always outsmarted the dumb character, and all the humor came from that. Pinky and the Brain is a show where the dumb character always outsmarts the smart character. Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain were quite great. And Freakazoid. Good shows. High quality. Jokes for everyone. just heard my cat drop something downstairs. She's very restless. So many things about Animaniacs were just hysterical even now. Nice, traded. Like the Wheel of Morality. They were like told, this bigwigs, the studio execs told them that they had to include a moral in their show. And they just have like a section where they spin the Wheel of Morality and read a moral from the wheel. And it'll be like actual, like, you know, moral advice of some degree. I do remember the tick. But it'll have nothing to do with the entire rest of the show, which is quite funny. Hey Penny episode? Wasn't that just the movie? Wacko's Wish? That's a great movie. I think so. Nice. Oh, he went for the jump in punish. That was ambitious. You know, one segment I didn't like that much as a kid, but when I saw when I rewatched it like as an adult, I was blown away. Was the Slappy Squirrel? That shit's funny. It's just a subversion of slapstick. I mean, it's on the nose slapstick as well. But it's just a genre-aware character. I didn't get it at the degree I do now. Remember the cat and the dog, and the cat would always sing something in Rita? I don't remember the dog's name. I remember really liking those segments, but they had to like stop doing them because it cost too much. They like had to write a musical number every time they did one of those segments. Invincible. I'm also up to date on Invincible. It is quite good. I have my moments. Top Character Tropes today had a discussion on whether... Was it Top Character Tropes? No, I don't remember. Where did I see it? It was a discussion on whether... there was a power scaling discussion between Metro Man and Thrag, which I thought was quite fun. I love Metro Man power scaling discussions. Metro Man only has one feat, but it's such an insane feat that there's still quite a lot to discuss with like whatever character. Metro Man is the villain, I suppose. He's the hero from Megamind, which is a surprisingly good movie. Never heard of Megamind. It came out in like 2010 or something, maybe a little bit before that. Will Ferrell's the voice of a blue alien. It's quite a good movie, honestly. It looks like DreamWorks slop, but it's actually DreamWorks gem, as the youths say. Dead OS. Sam Roundhouse caught the short swing blow reversal. 7, 8, 9. Wow. I love power scaling shitpost discussions. Like people are discussing like Thrag or whatever, or Homelander, and then someone has to come in and talk about Word Girl. That shit's funny. That makes me laugh every time. I can't help it. It's just funny to have someone come in and say Word Girl would no diff both of them. We've never even seen no Word Girl get hurt. Nice sequence. Oh my god. I eat that. Word Girl, yeah. Sean can defeat Ken with prep time. Sure. There's like a discussion. What was it? It was like a real life, like some girl tweeting about it. She like asked her, she asked her boyfriend if he thought he could kill a horse or something like that. And the boyfriend replied like, "Do I get prep time?" And the girl was like, "Yes, but the horse also gets prep time." It was something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do in prep time for my fight with the horse. Yeah, a horse is like, 1,500 times as strong as a person. I don't think I could take a horse. That was a really popular viral image that went around. Was like a woman tweeting to other women. That's like you can ask if you want to waste an hour, you ask your boyfriend the biggest animal he thinks he can kill. And of course I got thinking about that. The biggest animal I can kill is a blue whale. I'm straight up right at the top of the list. I'm gonna fight it on land. It's not even gonna be close. I won't even get hurt. Yeah, bare hands. I'll give the whale as much prep time as it needs. If we're fighting in the ocean, it's grim. I thought about that, and my sincere answer is probably like an ostrich. Here's my thinking with an ostrich, okay? One, it's quite big. Two, there's obvious points of weakness, The ostrich's whole neck is just right there. Three, it's a bird, so it's got hollow bones. It's probably quite light. I doubt it weighs more than 200 pounds. Probably, I don't even know if it weighs 100. I think I've got a real shot versus an ostrich. I don't think it would be free. I'm not coming out of this alive every time. But I think it would be possible. Ooh, failed the whiff punish. Animal tier maker. Biggest animal I think I could kill. I believe they actually lost to emus, and it was probably a logistics question. Ostriches are bigger than emus, though. I don't know if there's battle hardy, though. Good shit. They look quite different, actually. Ostriches are noticeably bigger, and their like necks are not feathery. The shape of their face is radically different. Yeah, emus kind of seem scrappy, actually. I'd rather fight something bigger that's less scrappy. Everything in Australia needs to be able to fight. Oh my god, that was some fast mashing. Cassowaries are smaller than emus, yeah. They got those big sharp claws. My entire goal would be avoiding those, because I think they all have them. But cassowary ones are particularly sharp, because they like hunt with them or something. I don't know if ostriches do any hunting. I think they're more of a foraging bird. Someone look up what ostriches eat. Cassowaries have killed people. I think I fancy my odds versus a cassowary. But that's another one that could easily kill me. If I can grab it, I think I've got good odds. I am not allergic to bees. I'm going by weight. A really large jellyfish. Ooh. I don't know if I could kill a really large jellyfish. Again, it depends on where we're fighting. If we're fighting in the ocean, like what do I just... I don't... They could just stay low in the water, deep. I wouldn't even be able to reach it. It would be a tie, I guess. Or maybe, depending on how long the fight goes, I guess it would win because I would drown. See, chimps are small and scrappy. They're not even that small, honestly. They're like almost the size of people. The smallest animal that would fuck me up. I don't know. I was at work recently, and I'm coming out of a patient's room after just having done an x-ray. And there's like 5 people in the transport team who are talking quite heatedly about something. And one of them points to me, and he's like, hey, how many 4th graders do you think you can take in a fight? And I was like, I don't know, about 4 or 5. And the guy, he like looks at the rest of the transport team. He's like, yeah, see that? That's real. That's a real answer. Made me laugh. Talking about fighting 4th graders. I think I heard that mosquitoes have killed more humans than any other creature. That was my work story. Oh, I had, you guys will like this one. I had my Canon event as an X-ray tech. A patient came in for a pelvis X-ray, one view, and the reason for the exam was rectal foreign body. and I did it. I did the pelvic X-ray, and there was a big old butt plug right there. Proper butt plug. It had a flared base and everything. It was the kind where it's not supposed to go all the way in, you know? And, yeah. It went all the way in. Diagnosis, big ass. Diagnosis, ass too big. They measured it in the X-ray. It was something like 38 millimeter diameter, something like that. It's like a 4 cm diameter butt plug. Immature. The patient was a 21-year-old woman who was there with her boyfriend. And the boyfriend kept on, like, standing awkwardly and, like, shifting and scratching himself. And all I could think was, damn, I wonder if he's got a butt plug, too. That was the way he was kind of, like, handling his body. I was like, damn, bro. Calm down. He's got the matching set. He's got the he's got the him and she's got the her. Matching butt plugs, his, hers. A lot of my coworkers were like, oh, like, you know, it's so cool that it was a 21-year-old girl and not like a 60-year-old man. This happened within the last few weeks. And I, to be 100% honest, it made no difference to me. The entire situation was profoundly non-sexual from my perspective. I felt absolutely nothing for the woman at all. Except maybe mild discomfort. I would have also felt nothing if it was like a 60-year-old man. It was all business, you know? I'm at work, I'm doing x-rays. Wow, an actual screw lift inside. I do x-rays regularly to do to check for that. If they ever miss they count at the end of every surgery, they count up all the screws or whatever that they used, and if there's one missing, they bring an x-ray to x-ray the patient to make sure it's not inside the patient. And sometimes it is. I wonder what they did to get the dildo out, the butt plug. Maybe they just left it in there. They're just like, oh, it's part of you now. And they just drill a stoma in her in order to, you know, have a place for the poop to go. That's probably not what they did. Forceps and lube, that's probably it. Damn, that's a long time to be living with a pair of scissors inside you. Glad you didn't get any MRIs. I've heard that lube is one of the most stolen things from a hospital. There's a lot of it, I'll tell you that. You can find it in like every fucking drawer. They use it for a lot of different stuff. I think what would be more likely to happen is you would just stop shitting as long as the butt plug was there. Anyway, she seemed to be quite uncomfortable, so it was a situation that couldn't wait. Oh, you know what was really funny? Is I asked her if there was any possibility of pregnancy, and she said no. And I asked her if she had any metal below the waist before we did the pelvic x-ray. And she said no, but she paused. And you know what she said? She said, oh, I have an IUD. And I'm like, okay, it's no big deal, you know, that doesn't harm the X-ray or something. I was like, we'll see it, but it's not going to be, like, it's not going to be dangerous to you or the machine or anything. It's just going to be a thing that's in there. But then, you know, the IUD was in there, but so was the butt plug. It was just like, damn, you know, you brought up the IUD, but you didn't bring up the butt plug. That was the backwards momentum of Necro's drill. Yeah, metal only matters for MRI, but culturally, people think it matters for everything. Metal does interfere with X-ray in the sense that it blocks our view. We'll tell people to like take off like necklaces or whatnot. Like we're about to do a chest X-ray, and it's like, can you take off that necklace? And invariably, the next question will be like, do I have to take off these bracelets? And they'll like be pointing to their wrists. It's like, no, those are okay. They're not in front of your chest. I had a patient recently who was, I went to go do his X-ray. He was a guy in his 30s, who was in one of the hall triage beds, which are normally for people who are like, you know, immediately need to be moved to a gurney before even a room is ready. It's very rare for a young, fit person to be on one of those. But this guy was on one of our hall triage beds. And he was like 30-something. And then I go over to get him to go do an X-ray. And the bed is just there, but it's empty. And normally when the bed is... Normally when I'm looking for the patient and they're not there, it means they're in some other form of imaging, like a CT. Or like, you know, some other place, or they've been taken to a room or whatever. But in this case, the bed wasn't taken. It was just, it was present, but it was empty. And I go bring it up to the triage. And I'm like, hey, this guy's not here. And the triage, two of the triage nurses are talking to each other. It's like, oh, he's not here. It's like, who? And then it's like the fent guy or something like that. They described him as, it was, I don't remember if it was fentanyl or what. But no, he didn't just up, he didn't even wander, he just up and left. People do leave the ER. Leaving AMA, we call it, against medical advice. But, they don't normally do it when they're in like hall triage or something like that. It's a weird place to get up and leave from. I guess he just sobered up real quick and realized he didn't want to pay, like, you know, so-and-so $100. But I laughed when they called him the fent guy, or whatever it was. And then we were joking about it later on in my, in the X-ray room, me and my coworkers. It was like, you know, that guy's probably getting high right now, and what are we doing? We're here. He's probably doing more fent. We don't get that many addicts. That's one of the funnier ones I've had recently, the fent guy. The big one I actually tweeted about, or I skeeted about it because it was on Blue Sky. It was a girl who got hit in the face with a baseball bat. Or perhaps a softball bat, retrospectively. And she had a little cut on her face, and they ordered facial bones with nasal bones, which is quite a long sequence. And I always have a good time doing it. I'm like one of the... Most of the X-ray techs dread skull X-ray work. But I really like doing skull. I think skeeting is actually one of the brilliancies of it. I think it's a funny name. Anyway, it was about 11:30 when I got her, and we did quite a long X-ray series. And when we finished, it had turned midnight, like just then, turned midnight, and it was her birthday. Like we noticed when we were doing when we get the patient's birthday before every exam, just to verify they are who they are. And her birthday was like the day after when I was picking her up, which then it became, you know, the present day by the time we were done with the exam. Yeah, literally everyone at a hospital wants to know your birthday, but it's we do a 3-point like verify who people are. We ask the name, we ask the birthday, we look at the MRN. And there have been cases. I read this in the news pretty recently. It happened pretty close to me, where there were two people with the same name and the same exact date of birth down to the year at the same hospital at the same time, and there was a mix-up between them. Same first name, same last name, no middle name. Damn, that's a pretty normal name. Most people do it on March 1st, I think, or, you know, Feb 28. Nice unassuming name. Anyway, on the way back to her room, I sang happy birthday with her mom. But we were laughing about it. It was like it was funny. It was just like, damn, of all the places you'd be spending your birthday, you're in the ER with a big cut in your face. Beth, what's the skull series for facial bones plus nasal bones? Good question. It's a PA Caldwell 15 degrees, bilateral Reese, Waters, nasal bones, bilateral, a SMV view, and a... Is that it? I think that's it. I think there's one more. Oh, lateral skull. Lateral cranium. Lateral facial bones, I guess. Lateral cranium and lateral facial bones are different. So it ended up being 8 x-rays, by the way. I know all my skull x-rays by heart. But I did have to verify which ones were needed for the exam, because there are other skull x-rays, such as the Towns or any of the mandible ones. Nice punish. If Neko didn't mash that shit, he would have been okay. You got to talk about frame data and you got to talk about Bionicles on a date. And if she gets the ick, she's not the one. It's like the speedrun dating strat. If you can bring up Bionicles and she doesn't leave, then she's already the soulmate. You don't even need to do anything else. There's a crazy amount of Bionicle lore. I had Throwbots. They were like the pre-Bionicle. I had Bionicles too. Connects are okay. Kids who had Connects still had a good childhood. It's probably Lincoln like the US president. There was I got a recently, Pocket had, in one of his recent sets, it had a, Blacephalon EX, and I got the rare one. The Rainbow Ridge Blacephalon EX. And I was talking to my friend about it, and I was thinking about what's his face. There's like a competitive Pokemon player who like went on a date with a girl, and she asked him his favorite Pokemon, and he said Skarmory or Blacephalon. He like tweeted about this after the fact. A nice cross through. And then he was laughing about it like after the fact. Oh god, Dudley's so nasty. He was like, what the fuck was I thinking? Giving the answer Blacephalon. What's my favorite Pokemon? Probably Ogerpon. I'm a big fan of Meloetta too. I guess I kind of like them for the same reason. Probably Ogerpon these days. Just damn cute. Nice. Crawlance is a great one. It's a lot of fun to use as well. I still have a Pokemon as my PFP. It's Maractus. I am probably Maractus' biggest stan, and I don't even like it that much. Your bulls, bro? That's a huge L autocorrect right there. Blaziken's good. They say every Pokemon is someone's favorite. Blaziken is a good one. Blaziken's gonna be a lot of people's favorite. Slacking? It's okay. It's good. Hello, Pokemon Close Combat? I guess it is a fighting type. Or half of it is. That's quite cool. We got someone who likes Garbodor. The one person. Garbodor's only fan. Whoa, two Garbodor fans in the same place at the same time. Oddish Allen likes Oddish. Pineco is kind of cool. I get that one. The worm Pokemon from Scarlet, that would be Orthworm, and that's a great one actually. That's one of my favorites from the new set, new Mons. I'm also a big fan of Cloth. They have really funny faces. I generally like all Pokemon. There's very few I don't like. I don't like Relor. I don't like that thing's face. Repska's okay. Relor's face, just, I hate it. There's still some good ones in Gen 8. Centiskorch was Gen 8, I think. That guy's cool. Corviknight is Gen 8. Pretty much everyone looked at Corviknight and was like, damn, I like this thing actually. That mon has no haters. Mimikyu is good, yeah. Oddish Allen complains about bipedal Pokemon. Bro, look at Oddish. That thing has exactly 2 limbs. And it walks on them. I like Oddish a lot. It's one of my favorites. I played Gen 2 a few years back using an Oddish, and I had to choose between evolving it to Vileplume and Bellossom. And I was surprised to find that there's basically no incentive to evolve it into Bellossom. It's just kind of bad. Relor is the Pokemon whose face I hate. It looks like a Muppet, but in the very ugly way. Tyranitum is cool, yeah. Tyranitum, a dragon rock type is just such an insanely cool idea. And they kind of delivered with the design. It looks like a rock dragon in a good way. Ah, the red into the dash. Gravity is cool. Heracross is extremely cool. The thing is, Pokemon was always bug fighting. So once they had a chance to put an actual Stag Beetle in the game, of course they knock it out of the park. Well, that was punishable for sure. With no EX Rekka, he wasn't going to get a ton of damage though. The building Pokemon. Oh shit, what could that be? Building Pokemon. Not the Sandcastle. Building Pokemon. I don't think it would be Girder. I immediately pictured the bridge. What's his name? Duraludon. Archaludon. Yeah, that one. The Sandcastle is Sandygast or Palosand. Dynamax, they just get big. Gmax, they get big and also change design. Skyscraper. That could be a Gigantamax that I can't think of. I honestly can't tell what Pokemon you're referring to. A Pokemon that is a Skyscraper. Oh, it was Duraludon. Okay. I think that thing looks kind of stupid, but I don't hate it. Pokemon usually knocks it out of the park with their designs. And I think Mega Starmie is probably the single best design I've seen, like, in 20 years from that company. From a company full of good designs. I lost my shit the first time I saw Mega Starmie. I was like, I love this thing. The absurdity of it. I quite like the new Megas. I had mixed feelings on a lot of the old Megas. The new ones I kind of just flat like. They're almost all good. Sometimes they're good for being cool, sometimes they're good for being cute, sometimes they're good for being ridiculous. Mega Meganium. I like that thing. Its abilities like permanent sun, right? Or like not permanent sun, like it treats Meganium is always treated as though it's in sunlight, regardless of what the actual weather is. It's something like that. So you can use like the superpowered growth or the superpowered morning sun or synthesis rather. Or like the quick solar beams. It's a perfect ability for that mon. Weather ball's always fire. Wow. Really cool concept. Oof. 2 turntables is here. Mega Dragonite was an okay concept, done kind of poorly. I like that they kind of upped the Dragonair motif on it. But the wings themselves don't look good. They look okay, it's just kind of a nothing mon. And I think it just has the same ability again. So it's just kind of a nothing idea. It's just like, hey, we wanted Dragonite, but we wanted it to have 100 higher BST. Castform is the best card from the latest Pokemon set. Absolute incredible Castform dub. One of many. Sinistcha is good. What is it? I don't want to click on a link right now. It'd be nice if I could just hover over it and it would tell me what it was. Mega for Alligator is definitely silly. I don't know how I feel about it. A really bad Omega tier list. That's really making me want to click on it. Alright, I'll do it. It's gonna be gay porn. It's not all visible on stream. I'm a believer in Guy. I'm also a believer in Yun. I guess I'm a believer in T-Hawk too. I don't know if they would be top 3, but all of these characters are quite good in Omega. Kami, I believe. Ibuki, I'm not sure. Honda, I believe in a second. Ryu is a bit. I don't know if Ryu. I don't know about Ryu. Yang, I don't think I would put him that high. Poison, I probably wouldn't put her that high. Cody, maybe. Makoto, probably not. DiCapri, maybe. DiCapri's quite good in Omega. Evil Ryu, sure. Rufus, I don't have a clue. Akuma's okay. Guile's pretty good. No, that was removed in 2015, bro. Rose, I have no idea. She kind of seems, I don't know if she's even better than her Ultra version. The Lynx being easy is nice, but the Ultra 2 nerfs are shitty. Oni, I don't have a clue. Fei Long seems kind of good. Dudley's kind of low. T-Hawk is quite a serious character in Omega, mostly because they made Condor Spire like a 3-frame attack. I think it's like 3, 4, and 6 for the 3 different versions of Condor Spire. It's like absurd, and you can like confirm them easily, and they combo from max range, and they set up both as ultras. You can do Condor Spire FADC and get the crumple on the level 2. It's not even that hard. It's like a 2 or 3 frame window. He also has better neutral because he has a fucking Seismo. I don't think Sakura is all that great. DJ I think is pretty good. Elena is good. Adon is good. Dan is probably good. Gen, I don't know. I didn't really get a strong impression of him being strong. Blanca, I don't know, even though I've played him quite a lot. Sim strikes me as kind of bad, but it's hard to say. Vega is okay. Bison is probably worse than Ultra. Balrog is quite good. Ken is okay. Hugo really low. Bit surprised. Seth really low is weird too. I'm a bit of a believer in Hugo. Abel this low and Zangief this low. I think we kind of collectively decided those characters were like middling, but I have like doubts about that a little bit. I don't know if I can truly say that Zangief is even bad. Interesting no clue tier. I did play a decent amount of Goken. He's okay. His kit seems strong to me. The new low forward is nothing. The move where he stumps on your foot is quite good, and the juggle improvements are quite good, and the light Senku Gosho hop buffs are really good. He might honestly be better than Ultra. Porte, I don't have a clue. Viper, I don't have a clue. She's, I don't know. I don't know about Viper. The main thing about Viper is she's really similar to her Ultra version, but she's you can actually run Ultra 2 and it's not bad. Apart from that, she's mostly just like Ultra Viper. The move really helps her set up Ultra. Sagat's kit seems quite strong. Dan is a lot better in Omega, but I don't know if I would just donk him into S tier or anything like that. His combos are very annoying. He has a lot of combos that only end in like EX Dan kicks. The F80C-able Shoryuken is really fun. That's a really funny thing that Dan has. He's got a Shoryuken that F80C's on block. Very rare. Very unusual. Yeah, Chun-Li's seems good. I don't know about Jury. I guess that Jury doesn't seem that good, but I could be completely wrong. Hakan, I don't have a clue. Rolento seems okay. Doesn't seem great. Sagat is probably fine. I think my tier list wouldn't be way different from this. I do kind of like the top. I like 5 of the top 6. I don't know if I'd put Ibuki up there. But I don't know if I would. Those characters are good. It's just I would put other characters up there before I would think to put those guys. Evil Ryu might be higher, which is really funny to think about. Because he's such a nothing character in terms of new stuff, but just the linking options being fully available to the player is crazy. It's just really powerful. I don't know. I don't know what my tier list would look like. I've made one before. Anyway, where were we? When I think about tier lists of a Mega, I usually try to think about like what the Ultra tier list is, and then whether characters are upgrades or downgrades from their Ultra version. But it's very difficult. No one really knows about Omega. Like, we don't know, they don't know. No one knows. Mine I would definitely change nowadays. There's some I would move up and down. I don't think I would put T-Hawk in top 6. He's good, but I don't know about top 6. I like Cammy. I really am a big Cammy believer. Kami's kit is really cool in Omega. I've been thinking about Omega a lot recently, mostly because I just want to make some more of those videos where I kind of break down the characters. Next one on the chopping block is Honda. When I was recording the recent 420 video, I didn't realize until I was making that how Honda's EX a-cho works in juggles. a-cho. I thought it was just it regrounds the opponent, but it's not that simple. It merely pretends to reground the opponent. It's actually very fascinating. You can still F80C it and combo the Ultra, or combo a Crumple or something like that. But the opponent's juggle potential is actually maintained even though they are visually on the ground. Very unusual properties that I was not aware of until trying it. You can't just combo anything like you would on a normal Crumple. It's hard to know how much of Honda would fall apart if we had better, like, you know, matchup experience and practice and whatever. Because he's very gimmicky. But a lot of stuff seems like it would be strong even if you were good at fighting against it. I mean, he still has crazy damage and really simple combos. Ingrid. She wasn't an alien until the SF3 trailer. Ingrid had like no established lore. Her only established lore was from a game that was cancelled. If you want some neat fact that developed just recently, Q is apparently an alien, according to developer interviews. That one came out rather recently. Street Fighter. It's like Wordle, but for Street Fighter. Someone asked the relationship between G and Q, and I forget who answered. But he gave an answer that, like, G was a manifestation of the Earth itself to counter a threat from space. And that Q was the threat from space. There was, like, a question of whether G was Q. And the guy answered like that. He's like, no, I think they're different people. But, like, they're the same, they were born of the same concept. Very unusual characters. I'm quite satisfied with Q being an alien, actually. I used to be on the boat. I guess I'm still on the boat that any lore they give. I used to be of the opinion that they should always just like leave it open and let people decide whatever. But you know, alien is so vague that him being an alien kind of doesn't change anything. So that text doesn't even imply that he's a... I mean, it does kind of imply he's an alien, but it doesn't even lock in on him being an alien. He could be a robot alien, rather an alien robot. I think that's quite an unexplored concept that's a lot of fun. Invariably with aliens, it's like, what would an alien look like? But what kind of robot would an alien build is still very interesting. Remember Galactic Nova from Kirby? That was a robot built by aliens. He was cool. I think we all like Nova. Nice. He got the jump in punish! Never played a single Kirby Sonic game, and I think I would not like them. I don't know about Sonic, but I think that almost... Wow. The same sequence. I think almost anyone would like Kirby games, unless you just straight up don't like platformers. Kirby has some pretty significant mass appeal. Camp's Curse is a lot of fun. I haven't played it since it came out. I did 100% it, or like near 100% of it. That game is actually really hard to 100%. The sub-games where you're like a missile or whatever, or like you have a finite amount of ink, are quite difficult. I played Star Allies recently. I had really confusing feelings about it. I played it when it came out a little bit, but I like finally went back and beat it. I think Star Allies is a peak game if you are 4 people. But a lot of almost every puzzle in the game requires you to figure something out in cooperation with other people. And the way they did that, if you're playing it solo, is that the comms just know how to solve each puzzle. And will just kind of like do 80% of the solution for you. The game does not work as a single player experience. It's still a good game. It still has like good gameplay. But it was so obviously designed for groups. I think the engine itself is insanely strong for, like, you know, action combat. It's very satisfying to play. All the powers feel good. The rose, but he already had one. He couldn't throw another. Okay. You can't throw a rose while the previous rose is still on the screen. Yeah, Forgotten Land is cool. I don't really think of it as a Kirby game, even though it's obviously a Kirby game. Crouch jabs, rare. Crouch short is almost always just a better version of crouch jab for Dudley. It's just crouch jab that hits low. Wow. Cool juggle. Slipping jabs for the kill. Hell yes. Why make your dream JRPG when Final Fantasy V already exists? The jump away. At least say Chrono Trigger. Final Fantasy V is a great game. Can't believe we didn't get it till PS1. Wow. What a combo. When you get a reset into that super, there's nothing you really can even be doing except looking for a parry. But the thing is, even when you're looking for a parry for something like that, like you're not always expecting something like that to happen. The ducking super from the other side. 5 is too long? Shut up. I wish it went on longer. Every time I play 5, I don't want it to end. You know what's great about FF5 is that it gives you a core team of all princesses. I wish more games had the balls to do that. Parry into block and he didn't even get a punish. Dragon Quest VII is way too long. I'm actually that game's biggest stan. I think the developers have said that they wanted to make a game that, like, didn't end. Which is honestly how it feels to play that game. I like it a lot. I would 100%. I would 100% understand if someone said they didn't like it. It's like 3 Dragon Quest games. Wow. That reminds me that the remake of 2 came out, and it's supposedly, like, really different. I should get on that. Did you play, the remake, or the 3DS? Wow, that didn't hit at all? Shit. It was Jab Super, but I'm really surprised it got no hits. 3DS port. That one's quite a bit shorter than the... I've finally beaten that. Quite a bit shorter than the PS1 version. I don't know about the remake, the recent one. I played the 3DS one all the way through a while back, having played the one on PS1 to completion like 5+ times. And I was kind of like, I was really surprised at how streamlined it was. I like that they cut down the job grinding a lot, because job grinding is just awful. They had like 2 different ways of cutting it down, which was quite cool. They made it so you don't keep your... Oh, my Dragon Quest tier list? You don't even want to see it. It's a pretty funny list, actually. Elder God tier, Dragon Quest 1. It's good enough tier, Dragon Quest 2. Elder God tier, Dragon Quest 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. This is my tier list. They're all Elder God tier. I haven't played 11 yet. I don't remember about 9. I've never beaten 9. I liked what I played, but I just never bothered to clear it out. Alex? He's pretty cool. I like watching him a lot. I am still yet to play Dragon Quest 11. That Dizzy Bar times 2. Oh, okay. Totally found it. What a twist! Seven, 8 at the bottom of the tier list, huh? I put every single game in top tier, except 2. And honestly, I really like 2. It's probably just regular old God tier, while the rest of them are Elder God tier. Put them in order. I guess 3 is probably my favorite. 4 is quite good. 5 made me cry twice the first time I played it, but I've never played it to completion after that first time. But it was very, very emotional that first time. 5 is such a masterpiece. I've beaten 6 twice, it's quite good. I like 7 more than 6. I like 7 more than 8. I don't love 8. I think the pick up and play nature of the series is hurt a little bit by the 3D. It takes longer to get everywhere. Everything takes longer. I feel that way about 9 as well. And the reason I felt that way kind of like is one of the reasons I've been so slow to play 11. I liked it better when it was 2D. Well, he did a airborne hit. He didn't even get the reversal, but it looks like he went for a reversal snake edge or whatever it's called. Reversal half circle back punch. Everything's a snake with Necro. Flying Viper. That feels right in my head. The towns don't feel very towny in the 3D ones, even though the actual technical structure is basically identical. Something was lost. I want to go into every house in the 2D games, and in the 3D games I don't, and I don't know why. Somehow it's just more of a nuisance in 3D. That didn't even hit? Was that really a punish? I don't know how -4 Rekkas is. I'm so bad at the Yang matchup, honestly. This is my weakest matchup. I get owned by Yang players regularly. It's a player weakness. It's not something about Oro, although Oro is not... Yang's not a good matchup for Oro. But I make it worse than it actually is. Wow. Reversal heavy DP. One time, I was playing against a Ken player, and he did reversal heavy DP into super, which I baited and blocked, and I missed my punish. I think he only had a speck of HP. And I went for a throw punish, just back throw punish, but I pressed it too early and I was still in recovery. Something like that. And then Ken's super on block actually doesn't have that much recovery. And as soon as he recovered, he did another DP and super canceled that one as well. And it was round 1. And he just spent like an EXDP. He like spent like 2 EXDPs and 2 supers. Or I think it was 1 EXDP and 2 supers. Worth a meter. And like didn't even, you know, none of it hit me. And I remember thinking like, damn, if I just got the back throw punish, like he would have gone into the next round with a whole extra meter. It was a funny moment, so I still remember it. One of the easier red parries, but no red parry is free. They're all difficult. The only red parry I think I hit more than I fail is the Chun-Li Super 2. And only if I go for a very specific red parry, which is after the 8th hit. If I was going to try and land a different red parry, it would be almost impossible. Wow. It was a Hadouken. I started streaming today because I wasn't tired. Now I'm pretty tired, but also it's 5 AM. I don't work today though, so... Ooh, nice. I can really just sleep whenever the fuck I want. Which is probably going to be soon. Nice TP. Probably at the end of this, so probably 13 minutes. Nice sequence. Damn, that sweep was bad. It worked though. Can something be bad and work at the same time? Oh. Ken actually parried that on the ground. It was so late. He would have been able to block it. No super. Super would have won on the spot. Oh, he went for red and dropped it. Dead. ATR electricity. Very well placed. That might have been a punish. That drill looked really bad. Oh. Oh, it was a real cross-up last time, and this time it was a fake cross-up. That would have fooled me. I would have blocked both of them like real cross-ups. That's tricky. I love the look of that punish. So there's something very satisfying about Necro's back medium kick into medium spinning hook. What is it? It's just cool. Nope. Crouching hit too. We got a nice smear frame on the super freeze there. That super is a one frame length, so the frame will always be the same. I wonder what this matchup's like. Are you going for the double DP that's hard on twins? You need the Kara. I wouldn't be surprised at all to find out this matchup is like 6-4 in Ken's favor. I think the damage differential is a big deal. I think they play neutral against each other pretty evenly. But Ken does way higher damage than Yang does. Off most hits. Wei is a bit strong. Ken also just has more health. The twins' low HP does honestly hurt them. Nice. Woo.
Prepare to strike now.
Yeah. Jumping in at Dudley is so, I don't know, there's a lot that can happen. He's one of the harder characters to jump in on. His anti-air is quite good. Most of his anti-airs aren't super duper clean though, against all timings of air normal. Maybe EXDP is. I don't remember the last time I deleted EXDP anti-air against me. It's not really a thing they do. Usually it's a medium kick into maybe the TC or something like that. Oh, that loser reversal throw worked. That was nice. Come back.
Final round. Go for it.
Can players treat far strong into sweep like it's a combo? And I don't blame them because that shit always works. Good shit. What the fuck was that? I'm not parrying that. I'm dying. If a Ken player throws that shit at me, I'm dead. Or I actually might have just been able to duck it. Or like an incidental stand medium punch might have hit it. So Aura's not particularly weak to that kind of thing. Huge unexpected value though. It's a big deal in this game. I think that's something a lot of people struggle with when they try and come to third strike from other games. You don't want to do deliberately bad decisions or anything like that, but you never want to be predictable. You will get lit up by even by moderately good players by being predictable.
Go.
In any Street Fighter game or any fighting game, you need to like play every side of the mix-up or whatever. But this game is kind of notable because there are options that are specifically good because they beat the things your opponent might do to read your more obvious options. And then also you've got to mix up your neutral. Yeah, Third Strike still has set play, but it's a lot more varied. Its set play is a lot more of like a chart in this game. Where like at any given spot there's like a list of 3 things you should be doing. Like pick your favorite kind of thing. I feel like Universal Overhead is a really strong meaty. It gives the opponent time to commit. And it really does hop. It's a real hop kick. Damn, they're living in this corner. Dang, bled. That did a lot. Neutral shell medium kick. Dink.
You win.
It's a funny normal to press there.
Are you ready?
Maybe 2 more matches. That strike has changed. Someone asked me about that in a YouTube comment recently. Yeah, it's like, what do you think about recent potential Third Strike tier lists? Tier shifts and like meta developments. The ones he brought up kind of surprised me. I think he said something about Elena being like a top tier now among certain players. Like not to the degree of like Yun or Chun-Li or whatever, Ken, but maybe to the degree of like, you know, Dudley or Makoto or Yang or something. He's like, yeah, Elena might be up there with them. I think almost everyone is like, Hugo bottom 3 is nonsense. Most people agree that Hugo is like kind of like a question mark tier. He doesn't get placed on a tier list very easily.
Now. Into the heat of
His kit is not especially great, but his payoff for being a skilled player is extremely high. His skill ceiling is very high. Yeah, and he is very matchup dependent. He can hold his own versus the likes of Yun, and then gets murdered by Chun-Li. Nice.
prepare to strike.
Hugo's a really weird character to fight. You basically, he's like the one character that you play completely differently than normal. Like you have like a way of playing your character that's generally pretty similar regardless of which matchup you're in, and then you play Hugo and you're just playing an entirely different game.
Final round. Engage.
Grapplers tend to create that sensation. Ooh. So it's not surprising that Hugo did. Yeah, ish. They're kind of it's weird to group them like that. Oro Ryu is probably like a high tier. Ibuki has classically been regarded as mid, but all of her matchups are pretty samey. She doesn't really get murdered by the top tiers, and she doesn't really murder the low tiers. She actually has very good balance, some of the best in the game. Oro has some of the worst balance in the game. Oro murders a lot of the low tiers and gets murdered by some of the high top tiers. Oro is, if the game has a sleeper top tier, it probably is Oro. But I think the tier list is pretty well established. Last time I made a third strike tier list, I made a strong character, weak character, and a stable volatile. I did a 2-axis. So a character like Makoto is strong, but she's volatile. A character like Oro is strong, but he's volatile. Then you got characters like Yun or Chun-Li who are strong and stable. Oro does feel like a Kusoge, that's true. He's got huge Kusoge energy. Ugh. That's probably the last one, right? Yeah. I gotta go catch some Zeds. It's been fun.